Welcome. I gotta commence gratitude for this new blue jacket, and I already made it to the mountain. It took me about 93 minutes to come here at the base of the mountain. Let's go! Who want to finance? I go up and down these stairs. A Dragon vs. Trump special event. North Americans unite this 18th of December. Gotta begin with gratitude. Grateful, thankful my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid. And, I got that food, got that coffee, and got this new blue jacket, which I'm auctioning. Maybe not a million minimum to give half, 50% to my anonymous friend who got me. This nice blue jacket, love the blue. Blue like the sky, For the truckers, for the bakers, LOV, to the firefighters, LOV. To the nurses, to the doctors, to the grocery store clerks. To the ambulance drivers, and be safe on the roads, as I gotta be. Watching with my knees, rock and roll for the firefighters, LOV, truckers, butchers, nurses, carpenters, and those electricians, and the ambulance drivers and the first responders. Gotta give a rock and roll from this Aspie artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical, theoretical, analyst, and theorist who has his obsessive interest, also known as special interest, geopolitics 24/7, sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, and rock and roll as I go on the road. The lights. Gotta give it out of sight. Please give some chatty Wall Street. If you make $1 million, give 10%. 10% is 100,000. 100,000, and please, millionaires, make some of those children, the youth happy. I would have loved to donate mass donation. This tough economic holiday times has been for the past during COVID for many, not all. So let's get that North American United, North American Union in the public-private partnership way. I mean, implementation of my philosophies, trinity of theories, pro-labor, love, revolutionary, centrist, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. I always commence my fitness journey. Always commences today. I always say my fitness journey always begins today. I begin now, 18th of December, although I started 2017 after I crossed Canada coast to coast in August and September, crossed Canada coast to coast, and that event in my life changed my whole life. Event prior to that was depressed, suicidal, and that event changed my whole life. I had a revelation and said, what a great country, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. And this Quebecer, Canadian, North American, was born in the USA post 1776 also. Once as a woman, twice as a man, served in the same US Army, 2 different wars, read George Patton's Straight Glass Darkly. Those wars, although were 156 years apart. Encouraging all again to work out, train, exercise. After I got out of that depression and being suicidal 2017, that's when I started my own fitness journey. And I always say that it commences today, as now I march, and somebody made it. A snowflake's going up and down, and gonna go all the way to the top, singing some of that good rock and roll. Somebody gotta shake a little bit of dancing. That's my favorite sport, you see. And now it's slowing down up in it took about 93 minutes, maybe 80 minutes to come here. About 80 minutes to come here, and a little bit more than an hour and 17 minutes, about estimated, about an hour and a half. Half an hour and a half from my Dragon's Lair up to here. Straight arrow, the kind of fastest path, 13.4 kilometers, and I still have to go back from here, so I didn't film the whole marching, dance, rock and roll event, fitness rock and roll event, because of course it was raining before. It was raining, then it turned into sleet, and now it's turning into the snow. So we're gonna go all the way to the top it with it, always for the farmers, the butchers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, always on those steps. Always say my fitness journey commences now, as yours can, as I am marching on these steps here at Mount Royal, my second home. Please, if you come here, do not pollute. do not pollute, and make an effort, learn some French here with us, and Quebec, la belle province, 10 million Quebecers, this Quebecer, Canadian, North American. I always throw it for Team Canada, tough times, and of course it's a Dragon versus Trump event, and have been able to still continue to challenge Donald Trump into a boxing match on the Canadian-US border, and let's build together public-private partnership, although sometimes we disagree, we agree, we're got each other, North Americans at the end of the day. We speak that English, and here, of course, Quebec are that French, so it's not a big of a deal like the parallel in European Union, They got multiple languages, English and French and Italian and Spanish and other languages of European Union. They're able to do it. I believe we can do the North American Union, and, we can get that king is absent, the king is absent, the king is absent, brothers and sisters, It's been me for the past years, and you and us, together 40 plus million, and me establishing the strongest esprit de corps after 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast, and that really made me establish the strongest esprit de corps after that event 2017. I established the strongest esprit de corps. My fellow Canadians rock and roll 24/7, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, and gonna play that defense, security and service. My protocol's best, parallel to other initiatives, of course, because I'm just a piece of dust. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody, just a rock and roll philosopher, artist, athlete who has struggled with Asperger's and managing my symptoms. That HFA, high functioning autism, also known as Asperger's, has been a difficult road to accepting, and of course for the past 45 years since I've been diagnosed for years and years and years, several diagnoses, but I rejected it. But now I gotta accept it and have been accepting, and I just gotta work on my symptoms. My neurodivergence is not a mental illness. Again, it's a neurodivergence. We Aspies are a minority of neurodivergent who look at the world through maybe different lenses, and sometimes it's called a disability, but of course I state that yes, I am less able in certain things, my social interactions and bodily movements and clumsiness sometimes are of course on the XYZ, and that's why we gotta get on the do with that, and that's what we gotta get doing on the XYZ for the lovers, and let's get that North American Collective Workers Party. Thank you, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food, and gotta get some LOV, because it's not all about fight. We cannot base everything on strength. We say through North Strong and Free here, special edition, through North Strong and Free, we gotta unite across the borders. Let's get that proposition. My proposition is to make a special 911 integrated protocols, the philosophical 911 for the new North American 21st century, defense, security, and prosperity initiatives for the 21st century with the realities which we're facing today in the geopolitical realm. Of course, geopolitically, of course, I have to state that I'm a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist. This is my special interest, also known as obsessive interest for Aspies, and it's 24/7 the analysis thereof. And I gotta state that I predicted what's happening now. I predicted what's happening now. Back in 2019 in October, November, I predicted what's happening now in 2019 in October, November. I predicted what's happening now in October, November, since I did an analysis, a geopolitical theoretical analysis, and I have concluded back then. Of course, 5 years ago, I could say that I kind of been in a World War III mode, although I have my hypervigilance prior to that event. But that event, since I'm a geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist who has predicted an international conflagration back in 2019, and I've developed and written thousands of documents and pages, of course, on the need for rehabilitation, and of course the integration across the North American collective civilizational complex across North America to get it on the go, and of course to get that 911 protocols initiated for the new defense security stratagem for the defense security and continuity of the North American civilizational collective, because we're North Americans. Play Team Canada, on the Team Canada here, the great, true North Strong and Free, but strength and freedom got to be balanced and put on some love with it. Some LOV is not all about the money, and sometimes it's business. Got to get some pleasure with it, and got to get some purpose, for the continuity. And I always say, got to get a new protocol, for the Canadian and U.S. Armed Forces if we are to join together, And of course, I disagree sometimes a lot with my cousin Trudeau, but at the end of the day, I'm not his enemy, and some much as I do not agree with many things the Trump was forced, being part of the myself androgynous pansexual, part of the LGBTQ and neurodivergent, who has been challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match since 2018, and the threat now of imposition of tariffs of 25%. It's of utmost importance, and I gotta say Auntie Freeland, because I relate to my fellow Canadians in a familiar like a great family. Sometimes we don't agree, but we're not enemies. We don't agree, but we're not enemies. Don't agree, but we're not enemies, and we got each other. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean, here in the north of the USA and the USA south. That way south, camera's pointing south. That way south now. That way south, and that's all we got, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We gotta get it on the do now, so we gotta always meditate, and always my mind flexes towards the meditative state in the geopolitical realm. Of course, I always gotta say, the farmers, the truckers, always gotta think about those truckers, the farmers, the butchers, the geopolitical events that are transpiring now, and of course all the truckers and the butchers and the truckers on the road now meditating, on the supply chains from a geopolitical perspective, from a defensive security and service position, and from my written documents which I've concocted, especially since 2019 October November. Back then I had concluded, of course, that we are set towards an international conflagration, towards an international conflagration, and there's a potential sabotage, internal sabotage. It is a potential for internal sabotage in the other North American collective, because we took some positions, not necessarily me, because my first position, of course, Team Canada, North America, we got to get that. Dragon Army is a binational affair, Dragon Army is a binational affair. When I say support the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess Army, DGA, is like that. Public-private partnership, security, service, and defense, and fitness, sports, and dancing is like the NHL is not really national. PVHL, new form, go, with the Professional Women's Hockey League, which I love, and the NBA, and we have Teamsters, North American Labor 40, we can put on the table with trillions of kisses, the North American Collective Workers Party, proposition, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes we just gotta get that fitness, and I've struggled and suffered and had my share of rejections and no's and closed doors and rejections and struggles, and struggle with employment, part-time employment, monthly employment, and monthly employment, part-time employment, and monthly employment, part-time employment, a few months, a few employment opportunities, which I'm open for business 24/7, I gotta state. But of course, due to my condition, which is neurodivergence, and it's HFA, high functioning autism, also known as Asperger's. It has its strengths, but I also struggled and suffered. But my propositions, my geopolitics, I can say that I'm the best among the best, because that's my obsessive interest, also known as a special interest, because when we say obsessive interest, it's from a neurotypical perspective. For us, Aspies, our special interests, we don't relate to being the word obsessive. So it's just what it is in our work, in our studies, in our elements. When we speak geopolitics, that's my element, 24/7 geopolitics, and sports and fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. Dancing is my favorite sport and fitness activity. Dancing is my favorite fitness activity, and that's what it is with that, with rock and roll, and and that's what it is with that. So that's my holy trinity of obsessive interest. What's also, I prefer the special interest, but because Aspies, when we're involved in those affairs that are of special interest, we are very concentrated and focused, such as you see my workout training program system, and I created my own workout training program system back in 2019, parallelly, and to go and integrate it with a workout training program system to go, of course, with my conclusion that we're set towards a World War III, I concluded, an international conflagration. I'm just gonna circumvent here and go by the side, So now we're approaching the core area where the Belvedere Conjurenac is called. Belvedere Conjurenac, Belvedere. You're gonna see, of course, the skyscrapers. So it's really something which we gotta get it for the skyscrapers. We gotta get it for the skyscrapers to get it on the do. And I always admire construction workers because my will is to build, of course, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, 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 the North American People's in Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. That's what I will to build, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum and the Forgotten Goddess Temple. As a mystic, but the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the Forgotten Goddess Temple, the Forgotten Goddess Temple. That's what I will to build, so that's what I will to build, that's what I will to build, so here we are at the top of the Belvedere, watching those steps, and thank you for the new blue jacket. I love blue, red's my favorite color, and wearing that scarf, auctioning the shoes, auctioning everything that I'm wearing, as you know, auctioning everything that I'm wearing. So it's something which I gotta auction with that. So something which, of course, I gotta say for I don't mind winter, by the way. I actually love winter. I love all the seasons. I love snow, and it doesn't mind me. I don't mind at all. So I don't mind winter at all. I don't mind winter at all. Here we got some flags. We gotta put that North American flag with it. We gotta put that North American flag with it. It's gotta get that both. Both flags would be a good idea. But now we can't really see the city. We can't really see the city due to, of course, having the cover of the snow, and I gotta thank the public workers, of course, who are building a new path there. So gotta thank all the public workers now changing the aqueducts. Imagine just to have water here at Montreal, at Mont Royal, how many layers work in the 20th century was done to have water running here. Just do a meditation. So civilization really is a privilege. So I gotta give some LOV to the public workers, those who pick up the garbage every week. Salutations for the service. Thank you. LOV. Sing that rock and roll for the firefighters, butchers, and the truckers, and the public workers. And my brothers and sisters, we gotta give that NFL, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. We gotta reduce the tickets. And please, owners and players, give a lot of charity to the public workers of North America. Public workers of North America. Public workers of North America. Gotta give a lot of charity and gotta reduce the cost of the tickets by 44.9% of the sports leagues, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Gotta give, of course, the reduction, of course, for the sports leagues, 44.9%. 44.9%. 44.9% is my estimated cost. So here's where we usually come, and we gotta get it for the do now. See, here you get the French and English. Here's the foundation of the city, and I was born, of course, here. Many past lives, many incarnations. I was born in the USA post 77.6, but now you cannot see Montreal that well because, of course, of the snow. Anyways, so we're gonna continue. But again, I advise, if you come here, do not venture in the forest because you don't know the mountains. So I advise you stay on the main roads. Stay on the main roads. If you don't know the mountain, I know this mountain from like my second home here, That's my second home here. That's my second home here. That's my second home here, That's my second home here, So now I'm on a taxi more. Just too smoky. Oh yeah, somebody kissing there. See, that gives me some hope. That's worth fighting for, saving, eh? It's not all about fighting. Those two couples there kissing, Said I gotta send them some LOV as well, It's something someone that I love. And Hydro-Quebec, gotta give it a little bit of Hydro-Quebec work, and we gotta get it on the do. And for the doers, the bakers, the nurses, the butchers, the grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production, distribution of food. And that's the Hydro-Quebec. Gotta give a shout out to the Hydro-Quebec, and thanks to Hydro-Quebec that I'm able to do this workout session with clean, zero pollution energy. And to those who build the dams in the 20th century, got to salute. And we got to get that North American united, and we got to create the universal exchange unit. Got to create the universal exchange unit, brothers and sisters. The UE, based on my philosophies and theories. 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 You know, that's what we gotta do. You know, so that's what we gotta do. Partially with other initiatives. My centrism is pro-labor and love revolutionary, and please me and his being is the 18th of December. You know, this one's going to be posted tomorrow, but anybody just encourage all to give some charity, give some charity, you know, here on the mountain. And I would got kisses because I'm financially stressed, $10,000 in debt. I am financially stressed, $10,000 in debt. I am myself financially stressed, $10,000 in debt, but I got food, I got some coffee, and I got a jar donated of Insta coffee because I was planning my budgeting for the coffee was due to the prices increase. I was not able to afford this month, so my coffee supply is gonna last me until the first days, 2nd or the 3rd of January, and of course maybe first week of January. But somebody donate that instant. Although I think I gotta check the date. Look at those beautiful squirrels. I just gotta check the date because I think it's 2021, but it should be still good because it's sealed anyways. Thank you to those who do charity, food donations, and truckers on the road now, warehouse workers, those cranes, construction workers across North America, Canada, US, and that's built on the Canadian-US border, which is that way, south, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Public private partnership parallel to the Forgotten Goddess Temple for the DGA Dancing Goddess Army binational, and the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, 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 you know, so the North American Imperial People's Coliseum for security service and defense and security and service for the new 911 protocols, which I started writing a few years ago in my security collaborations with CSIS, Canadian Security Intelligence Service, and Canadian Security Intelligence Service, and that's what it is now, that's what it is for the now. So many people came, and here we are. It's 24/7 rock and roll geopolitics, and the threat of tariffs, and is a serious threat, as my auntie Freeland signaled. And of course, regardless of other politics, I'm just going to focus on one thing of the letter, which is discernment. Discernment is, she's correct that continuing this path, Trump is set to pursue aggressive economic nationalism policies. So all things aside, and I gotta, though I disagree most with Trump, sometimes with Trudeau, sometimes with Freeland, in a way we're not enemies. We're We're actually brothers and sisters, little brother, little sister, big brother, little sister that's south. You know, we made the great linguistic compromise here with the French language. Good years ago, and continue to do to have North American Collective Security Service. We got no right. We need to get Dragon Army is a binational public-private partnership call, blah blah blah. Dancing Goddess Army is a binational, blah blah blah. Public-private partnership call, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, blah blah blah. And we gotta get us some for the butchers, for the cooks, bakers, LOV bakers. So baking some bread now, putting some cheeseburgers, some hamburgers, and those millionaires give some charity. I'm not totally selfless. I played my rainbow, dragon, black and white and rainbow, but I got lusts, and you know, I got my own weird Asperger's behavior, which has made me struggle and suffered, and sometimes don't understand fully social norms, and learning more and more, but it's something which I'm less able, you know, in certain things, although in geopolitics, that's my kingdom, my realm, and if you want to discuss on a topic, well, you have to bring on the table a little bit of knowledge, but fundamentally, my initiatives, propositions, protocols are fundamentally for the Canada first, and Canada, United States, we got to get that binational. Let's not hit nationalism, must not play a part between Canada and the US. Between Canada and the US, nationalism got to be set aside. Between Canada and the US, nationalism got to be set aside between Canada and US. And furthermore, Mexico is part of the North American civilizational complex, what I call as a philosopher the North American civilizational complex. Here marching on the mountain, and I learned some Spanish in the more than past 7 years, 7+ years in the past 7+ years. I learned some Spanish, and I can manage a little bit of Spanish, as I call all who come here in Quebec to make a little effort, learn a little bit of French, learn a little bit of French. And that's what it is now, Dragon versus Trump. And gonna discuss the DRT, debt refusion theory, super important I discuss it. But once again, I call all willingly loving, pledge your allegiance, legions to our family. Pledge your allegiance, legions to our family. Pledge your allegiance, legions to our family. Rainbow rock and roll, 24/7. The train conductors, hey, LOV to those in the daycares who changed some diapers today. I gotta say a new protocol, Bill Blair with LOV minister. Gotta implement a new protocol to change some diapers in the daycares. Before you put on a uniform, that would be a proposition for that. Because we're not mercs, we're the Canadian forces, and we're not mercs, and we need to get that Canadian Republic. And I gotta give us some, because the Trump tweets and whatever personal beliefs, trolling whatever aside, at least said the great state of Canada. To make Canada a 51st state, make it the great state of Canada. We can be great. I'm no Trump supporter. I would have voted for Kamala and Joe Biden, my Scorpio brother of the stars. Scorpio brother still president until the 20th morning, till the 20th official inauguration transition of power. It's still Joe Biden. Scorpio brother, Uncle Joe, which I love, and sending some love. And I would think I would have been, if he would have won a second term, he decided not to run again, I would have volunteered to be his personal singer and caretaker massage therapist. Well, I'm not certified massage therapist, and during COVID, I learned some massage therapies, alternative massage therapies, and I'm in need of a massage for real for a long time now, 7 years. No, 5 years. Let's say 5 years during COVID, since I survived COVID. For me, it was like death, pestilence, and disease in February 2020, February, March, and I've been craving a massage ever since. But you know what? BNS finance the firefighters, finance the butchers, finance the firefighters, the public workers who change the aqueducts, and those who pick up the sanitation work, who pick up the garbage, the recycling, who pick up the recycling, the garbage, and who pick up the recycling, the garbage, and the compost. I got 3 services, and I worked on the compost in 2018. I helped bring it in the neighborhood. My neighborhood is 100,000 people, so it's like a big city. In Montreal, Hawk Island, HAWK, Hawk Island, Montreal. Montreal is an island surrounded by a big river, blah blah blah. As you can see from many of my videos, in here in North America, 2.5 million people, and we gotta get that North American collective. And I'm gonna come do some workouts here because it's snowing, and to protect my phone, I think best if I just do a little bit of a workout here. So this needs to be painted some colors, and need to put that, build that Forgotten Goddess Temple. Forgotten Goddess GODDSS. As a mystic, I do utter the word goddess kiss America. Canada included, North America, north, south and north. Gotta get it for the X, and here we are. We're safer here in a more safe way, I guess, maybe a little bit, where I can put the phone, so that if I put the phone somewhere where I know that's not gonna be a problem for me to film, for filming, and for having, of course, the filming and the continuation of my workout here at top of Mount Royal. Let's go get it here, maybe in the corner, so where it's more dry. I'm gonna try to find the driest place, because I'm gonna have to go northwest, southeast to see where the they don't kind of penetrate that much. If I put it here, let's see. I guess here would be the best. I guess that's an option. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. Maybe that's the best, like that. The best circumstantial, I guess. Maybe not. I'm still trying to figure out what would be the best way. As it's a Dragon versus Trump workout, training, exercising. Let's build together the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Special Dragon versus Storm we're gonna do. I got that backpack on it, so it has a bit of pounds on it, but it's not that heavy. I'm gonna start commence with some squats. Yeah, always good squats. We're gonna do a special general integrator body training system in motion and do some hawks and pull a little bit of those left, right, hands up, chin down, Dragon versus Storm special edition. Let's go rock and roll. And I'm trying to find the best way because I'm not totally satisfied with where the cell phone is installed there in the corner. Maybe best. Let me see if I can find a better spot. If not, I think I should leave it there. Maybe here, let's see. Maybe there in the corner. Trying to find the best spot for the flurries. They're coming from that side. No, maybe that is the best. I gotta visualize and strategize and see from where the flakes come. Let's go. Let's build together the North American People's Imperial Coliseum. Give me some hawks. HAWK, on the toes we go. Gonna discuss that DRT theory. The DRT theory special drill. Special integrated 911. Dragon Army is a binational affair. Support the dancing goddess. And the Dragon Kingdom, which is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilization. I think I gotta put something underneath. I'm gonna put the gloves. Where is the gloves? And slide left and right, bust the dance move. Dancing is my favorite sport. Fitness activity right here, 24/7 on the mountain, saluting the bakers, the butchers, the truckers, and the nurses, and the doctors. Hey, LOV to the firefighters. Saw somebody jogging. Congratulations, the few FEW who made it to come work out on a day like this, On a day like this, I gotta salute. It requires a double effort. It requires certainly a double effort to come and make the effort to come and to actually work out on a day like this is something which I gotta salute, something which I gotta salute. Always keeping it in motion and driving it in, and seems like what happened to my other gloves? Whoop. Maybe drop some gloves, maybe. Somebody find them. That's a million. That's Dragon Black and White, and my anonymous friend gave me new gloves already yesterday, so hope somebody who needs it finds it. My only stress now is financial, but I gotta be grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and hey, who's gonna say LOV with me? Some of those push-ups. Got a LOV with me. Some push-ups. We got a LOV. Some push-ups. We got a LOV. Some push-ups. We got a LOV. Some push-ups. Got a LOV. Some push-ups. Got a LOV. Some push-ups. And always got to stretch. Super important. Stretch, and sometimes we got to get that hydration left, right, and here we are, on the mountain. My second home here. Gonna keep it in a circle, roundabout, pledge your legions, and encourage all to work out, train, exercise. And besides my financial stress, being $10,000 in debt, gotta say I survived COVID, I survived being attacked by surprise in the Montreal Metro a few years ago, and where I used to live before, and then I got that, hit my head, and got my right arm was dislocated, and for a few days I was like in a coma for a few days. I went to the hospital, and I survived. I was attacked by surprise attack a few years ago, and got those archives from the Montreal Jewish General Hospital, Montreal Jewish General Hospital, and I survived that, and I started working out. That's why I got my hypervigilance, so I'll be hyper vigilant with that. But we're gonna play that defense coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We gotta learn to play that defense. And I gotta say again, of course, having survived that and having survived COVID, and COVID for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, and disease. Sounds like a rock and roll song for my enemies. And I will have friends with benefits only. Pledge your allegiance, dollar family. I will to have friends with benefits only. And pledge your allegiance, dollar family. I will to have friends with benefits only. Dollar family, pledge your allegiance. And Here we are atop the mountain doing some helicopters, and let's get that North American Union and a public-private partnership. And I don't know about that 51st state because we're 40 plus million Canadians, but we can work something out together for the 21st century. Similar parallel, my vision. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a binational, even North American collective affair, blah, blah, blah. For the public-private partnership affairs, North Americans unite. And you know, we got coast to coast, ocean to ocean, we got to integrate. And my proposition, of course, to have the North American great census, the great North American census, the great North American census, and citizen integrated to, of course, establish who has been living in Canada for the past 7 years, at least since August 2017, September 2017, when I crossed Canada coast to coast. That event, of course, made me come out being depressed and suicidal, and that event made me establish a strong esprit de corps with my fellow Canadians, and have been able to continue to advocate for a mass financing of citizens, not only to work out, train, exercise, but also to travel and tourism, for tourism. Oh, the light just came on here. I guess at a certain hour the light come on, and I got to give a shout out again to Hydro-Quebec, because of course Hydro-Quebec built so many dams in the 20th century, workers, and we got to build some more dams together and integrate the North American power grid. And let's talk about the DRT, the debt refusion theory now, the DRT, and as I'm calling for the North American census, basically to take a census of the population and by a public-private partnership to build new computer servers with Microsoft, my Scorpion brother Bill Gates, and all the public-private partnership with the corporations and the techs, and to mass finance fitness and mass finance tourism, and to, of course, mass finance this great census and the new North American integrated passport, and of course to find out who is here and how long, and to see who's been here for the past 7 years, and due to, of course, some security concerns and the fact that, of course, the external foreign powers might finance internal sabotage in the North American complex, inside the North American complex, Quebec, Canada, North America, especially the vulnerability of our infrastructure, the supply chains and other such factors, you know. So we got to take those facts seriously, because of course the situation has changed geopolitically, and we're on the verge of World War III, as have of course predicted back in 2019 in October, November. I predicted, and I got proof of work, because I got a video online when I created my own workout training program system to go hand in hand with such a scenario. My workout training program system is an efficient, simple and effective workout training program system which requires no equipment, and which is of course called the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout. So that's what I created back then, and still continue to do it, still continue to work out, especially now. It's gonna discuss it now. My General War Integrated Total Body Training System that I created back in October, November 2019 is like this. It has rules. So the rules are simple, effective, and efficient. One is allocated 93 minutes. 93 minutes, of course, to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. 100 for each. 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. To do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, so that's 300, 100 for each. One is allocated 93 minutes. Once the countdown starts of 93 minutes, that's an hour and a half plus 3 minutes. That's basically an hour and a half plus 3 minutes, so 93 minutes total. And actually it's 93 minutes and 44 seconds, point 999. There's a little bit of detail to that. So it's actually, the official is 93 minutes, 44 seconds, point 93. So 93 minutes, 44 seconds, 0.93, so almost 45 seconds, almost 45 seconds. That's the official time. But let's say 93 minutes to round it up. So once you start the countdown, you gotta start marching, jogging, or running. You have to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks. So that is the official workout training program system. If you're able to do the workout training program system, you gotta do 13. You can do only 13 repetitions, 13 maximum repetitions, 13 repetitions, per set. Whether you do 13 push-ups or hawks or squats, you can do 13 maximum, 3 minimum. In between, you can do 7, 6, 5, 7, 8, 5, 9, 10, whatever the case may be. So it's maximum 13 and 3. Those numbers go together. Those numbers go hand in hand together. Those numbers go hand in hand together, 13 and 3. And that's why you got to do 93. So between those is 13 and 3, 13 and 3. And of course, you have to minimum march, jog, or run in between sets a minimum of 30 seconds, half a minute. 30 seconds minimum, 30 seconds minimum, half a minute. So those are the rules, 4 main rules, 93.44 seconds. That's the time allocated for you to complete, for one to complete the workout training program system. And of course, 13 repetitions maximum per set, 3 minimum. 13 and 3. So that you can do it successfully. You're eligible for the Dragon Army. That's the Dragon Army examination. The Dragon Army examination, the Dragon Army examination. Simple, effective, efficient. My workout training program system, of course, requires no equipment, and I have created it back in 2019. I have hundreds of videos online, and what it does, it increases general overall fitness. What it does, it increases general overall fitness. What it does, it increases general overall fitness. It is not meant necessarily for aesthetic purposes, for aesthetics, but it's what it does, it increases general war integrated total body training system, increases general overall fitness. And paradoxically, I created it to go hand in hand where the need to mobilize the population in a World War III scenario. You have to keep that in mind because they're integrated, so they go together. My conclusion that humanity is set towards the course of an international conflagration, aka a World War III, which it seems parallel that is starting in many ways, as have predicted it, based because of course I am an independent geopolitical theoretical analyst and theorist, an athlete, an artist, and philosopher and mystic. So being an independent theoretical geopolitical theoretical analyst, which have predicted the current situation in a general manner, and I've created a workout training program system in October 2019. That's what I put on the table with trillions of kisses, lots of rock and roll, push-ups, marching workout, and here we are on the Wednesday on December 18, you know, ready for a workout on the mountain, my second home, Mount Royal, in this life and in another life. And when I come here, I get flashes of reincarnation. Past lives, I was born in the United States 3 times, post 7076. Post 7076, served twice in the United States Army. Once was born as a woman, now you get that 50-50. I am androgynous, being androgynous, pansexual, neurodivergent, and sexually weird and diverse. Neurodivergence and sexually weird and diverse. Just ask, and consent and hygiene. And I'm not really looking for that. I'm joyous, but just financially stressed. But friends with benefits. Black, white, men, women, 24/7. Black, white, and rainbow, rock and roll, loving, 24/7, blah, blah, blah. Consent and hygiene, rainbow, special rainbow, dragon, got that loving. God loving, and it's not all about fight, you know. We got somebody making some love, different types of loves, you know. We got to discuss that DRT now. So the DRT, the debt refusion theory, my brothers and sisters, is the only solution. Why do I make that statement? Of course, due to the fact that now today we pay 46.5 billion in interest. That is how much interest we pay on the debt. So due to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, my DRT theory is the only solution at this point in time for where we are with the public financial system of Canada. It could be worst case scenario that the first days of January, first week of January, beginning of January, the fiscal year changes, and also February, first days of February, because it's the parallel transition from January to February, the beginning of the fiscal year, blah, blah, blah. That due to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, 1 billion, need to remind that is 9 zeros, 1 billion is 1,000 million. So due to the fact that we pay 46.5 billion in interest, that is 46,000 million. And of course the number was 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion in 2021. So 20.3 billion times 2 would have been 40.6, would have been 40.6. That would be double. 20.3 times 2 would have been 40.6. 40.6. That would have been double. 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 You know? So 20.3 times 2. That's 40.6. So now it's 46. So it more than doubled, of course, due to COVID. Of course, COVID has made it so that, of course, it doubled. I had COVID myself. I've survived it back in 2020. February and March, I always say I died there in my dragon's lair. I'm being reborn now. And, here I am on the mountain. And that's what we got to get doing. And got to get that transition and got to get that DRT implemented. There's no other way. This is the interest, which has more than doubled. Paying the interest on the public debt, just the interest has more than doubled in 3 years. It went from 20.3 billion. Again, 20.3 billion is still 20,000 million. A billion has a thousand million. A billion has 9 zeros. So from 20.3 times 2, it's 40.6. So it's now 46.5. So that is the only solution to this problem, public financial problem, which we could see the beginning of the year. This is a worst case scenario, a black swan event, Canadian public black swan event, the Canadian public black swan event, the Canadian black swan event, the Canadian black swan event, the Canadian black swan event. For the public financial collapse of the finances of Canada, public financial collapse of the finances of Canada, the public financial collapse of the public finances of Canada. So that is within the realm of possibilities now due to the fact that we pay so much in interest. So my DRT theory, the D for debt, R refusion, T for theory, is the only solution, There's no other way. So there's no other way to what is happening now but my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange in it. The universal exchange. So I'm going to try to explain it as in simple terms as I can, because due to HFA, high functioning autism, known as Asperger's, we have a symptom which we tend to utilize too much verbosities and intellectual, academic, scholarly utilization of language which is not necessary, and things can be more simply explained. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, the DRT debt refusion theory. We're going to take all the public and the private debt coast to coast, including my $10,000. So I have $10,000 in debt to the Bank of Canada. I have $10,000 in debt to the Bank of Canada. I have $10,000 in debt to the Bank of Canada. I have $10,000 to the Royal Bank of Canada. That's my debt. $10,000 to the Royal Bank of Canada. $10,000 to the Bank of Canada. $10,000 to the Bank of Canada. So we're going to take all the debt, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. We're going to take all the debt, public and private debt, all the public and private debt. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt, including my $10,000 to the RBC, and we're going to convert all the public private debt of Canada into US dollars. So the DRT also includes monetary integration theory. My DRT also includes monetary integration theory. My DRT, debt refusion theory, also includes monetary integration theory. So my DRT, debt refusion theory, also includes monetary integration theory, which is of course the financial theory which was implemented in the European Union, That is the DRT, the debt refusion theory. That is the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the universal exchange unit. So my debt refusion theory, the DRT, also includes monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is the financial theory which the Europeans implemented in the 90s. So in the 90s, the Europeans, they created a common central bank. Back more than 25 years ago, the Germans they destroyed their old national banks. The French also, they destroyed their old national banks. The Italians also destroyed their own national banks. So many countries in Europe, they destroyed their own national banks. And back in the 90s, they created the ECB, a supranational bank. So they implemented the monetary integration theory. The implementation of the monetary integration theory occurred in the 90s, 1999 officially, I believe, in the European Union. Well, many countries, they created the ECB, the European Central Bank, and they put into circulation the euro, The euro, the euro, the euro, the euro. So the creation of the euro, of course, that's what they created it. So my DRT theory, they includes, of course, monetary integration theory, monetary integration theory, monetary integration theory. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, including my $10,000. So all the debt, public and private debt, all the debt, public and private debt, we're gonna take it, all the public and the private debt, including my 10,000, and we're gonna convert it to US dollars. Canada first, if Canada, United States second, third Mexico if they will, and afterwards all the countries of the North American Collective, including Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and Cuba is part of North America, but Cuba is a paradox due to they're maintaining their socialist, communist, revolutionary one-party state system. So Cuba is a paradox of North America, but they're part of North America, Cuba. But Canada first, it gotta be done ASAP in Canada, it has to be done. And Canada, US, binational preference, at the same time binationalists, we unite and we do the census and we create a common currency and we unify together, in a democratic republic. A public-private partnership, mass finance, fitness and the reconstruction of the ghettos, and the mass finance, fitness and tourism, and mass finance, defense, and build 44 tunnels in case of a thermonuclear war. So we're gonna take all the debt, public and private debt, including my 10,000 to the RBC. That's gonna be converted to US dollar because the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international business, global import and export. And that money is going to be the initial money supply. So all the debt, public and private debt, plus the other money in circulation, but the public-private debt, with certain details, but which is not necessary for now to discuss. But generally, all the public-private debt converted to US dollars is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So all the debt, public and private, is going to be the initial money supply for a new central bank. We're going to create a new currency called the UE. U dot universal, based on the value of the US dollar, because that's why we convert it to US dollar, right? So we're going to create a new currency based on the value. It starts with me today. The implementation has to be done ASAP. The creation of the UE, universal, U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. U dot universal, E dot exchange, U dot unit. The universal exchange unit. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. 10% maximum. It could be less. It could be 7.18, 3.33, 1.56, 9.3, 1.1, and 1.56, 6.1, below 10%. It could be below 10%, below 10%, below 10%, below 10%, not more than 10%. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to create the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the UE with an interest rate of 10% maximum after. After we're going to create a 10% interest, 10% interest after that. So all the universal exchange unit, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. The universal exchange unit. So we're going to take all the public and the private debt and we're going to create the universal exchange unit. With that money, we're going to be able to build more hydroelectric dams in Quebec, build more hydroelectric dams. We're going to be able, of course, to mass finance the building of the infrastructure, rebuilding the infrastructure of mass financing, mass rebuilding of the North American Collective Infrastructure Act, mass finance the infrastructure of North America. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens for tourism, tourist activities. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens for tourism. We're going to be able to mass finance citizens for fitness activity. And we're going to be able to mass finance citizens, of course, to work out, train, exercise for fitness and to build that defense and implement Operation Northern Scorpio. Based on my theories and protocols, Operation Northern Scorpio, because we have a Scorpio species which comes all the way north, so to integrate for security service and have the great North American census, blah, 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 coast to coast, ocean to ocean, the great North American census and great audit I'm $10,000 in debt, but my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and gonna have to get the great audit, and gonna have to get that great audit and get it coast to coast, ocean to ocean, and build more social housing, and the great North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act as well. The great North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act, that redemption, blah blah, the great North American Criminal Rehabilitation Act, and we got to get created the universal exchange unit, and of course by biometrics specially. That's why I'm calling on my Scorpio brother Bill Gates, Scorpio brother. BlackRock and Blackstone are two financial institutions which diverged, and they split in 1988, 89, and there's another Scorpio, Larry Fink, and my president, Scorpio Joe Biden, still until January 20th, so let's rock and roll. For the North American Collective, create the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, gotta create the Universal Exchange Unit. That's all we gotta get doing with that. That is the solution. There's no solution but the UE. There's no solution but the DRT. We pay $46.5 billion in interest. So keeping that in mind, that is the only solution as I go squats. Let's do some more squats. Actually, hawks. On the toes we go, FLY, 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 fly. Let's salute those truckers, the nurses, the doctors, LOV the butchers, LOV the bakers, LOV those changing some diapers, the railway conductors, those grocery store clerks. The teachers doing those exams that December, this December 18th now. The teachers in high school and throughout universities, the public and the private got to work together in a dance for the North American Collective. Coast to coast, ocean to ocean, we're going to play that defense like that hardball ball, aka the blackout ball. We're going to play that defense like that hardball ball, aka the blackout ball. So we got to get on those toes, fly high, turn your hawk head, HAWK. Hawk heads east, west, north, south. That's all we got to do, and we got to turn those hips, and I so feel good. Really working out, training, exercising is my medicine and therapy of choice. I have been and will continue to work out, and of course I created a workout training program system called officially the General War Integrated Whole Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, which is simple, effective, and efficient, and which I'm advocating for the implementation and the doing in the high schools across North America, and of course in many classes, many high schools, and throughout North America to do it. That would be something nice to do. And here I think there's some people with children coming, so I gotta watch my screaming a bit, and just gonna work out, and then we're gonna switch to that French. But I gotta say my gratitude again, although financially stressed, I'm grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and here I am atop the mountain, Mount Royal, and calling for all to support the building of the North American People's Imperial Coliseum, the North American People's Imperial Coliseum with the Forgotten Goddess Temple. And that's all we need to do here, and always working out, training, and I do a little bit of twisting of those hips. Dancing is my favorite sports and fitness activity, so always shaking up those hips. But now I got the backpack on it, so I always got to twist a little bit those hips, like that, and then do a little bit of left, right, like that. Do it on the go.
En fait, d'accord. Chez nous, on va voir. Tu vois, il doit y avoir des échelles à l'intérieur pour monter. Je sais pas, ils ont des verrous, mais pour empêcher que l'un monte.
Salut. Vous voulez voir, il y a une capsule de temps là-bas dans le coin.
Ah bon?
Il y a une capsule de temps là-bas dans le coin, si ça vous intéresse. Là.
Ça fait quoi?
C'est une capsule qu'ils ont mis pour que ça soit ouvert dans 156 ans.
Ah ouais?
Ouais, je vais la montrer là, ici. Je vais vous montrer ça. Vous venez de la France? Il y a une capsule de temps.
156 ans.
Ici, vous voyez? exactement. Je vais vous amuser à lire ça si vous voulez. Ça, c'était en 1960, 1985, les années 90. Mais regardez, c'est ça. Capsule de temps. On va l'ouvrir en 1142. Peut-être qu'on va être Renaissance, là. Je sais pas. Réincarnation.
Allez savoir.
Faites attention si vous allez dans la forêt parce que des fois il y a des branches aussi qui tombent. Vous voyez ces branches-là aussi?
Ouais.
Vous voyez, c'est flexible parce qu'il y a des chemins. Hein. Moi, je vous conseille de rester sur le chemin principal.
Oui, oui, je pense que c'est ce qu'on va faire. Oui.
Ok, c'est mieux parce que moi je connais la montagne, c'est comme chez nous ici, mais faites attention, vous voyez la branche là-bas?
Ah, elle a bien cassé, ouais.
Ouais, fait qu'il y a des branches. Fait que si vous prenez un autre chemin, là, soyez prudent.
Merci, monsieur.
Pour votre sécurité. Bye.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée.
Plaisir pareillement à vous aussi.
Merci.
So here we're in a French, you know, in a French La Belle Province. It's a French, so we're gonna switch to that French a little bit. It's myself as a Quebecer, you know, I always like to discuss about for people to come to Montreal and see the time capsule there. The time capsule. It's a time capsule, you know, which is gonna be open in in a long time. In a long time. So in 2142, there's a time capsule there. So that's what it is with that. And there we go. Here we work out. We gotta train and exercise. And it's always something which I gotta do meditating on. And I always like when people come, you know. I gotta slide, and I always gotta tell people because if they take the main path, it's okay. But if they go inside inside the forest, there's a danger for the branches to fall. So if you come here to Montreal, Mont Royal, just be careful, you know, because I go in the forest. So if you go in the forest, the branches can fall, and they do fall. I lived it myself several times, but not on me, but close to me. They lived, and they fell like it was like falling down, you know. So that's what happened, you know, and that's why I say like that branch over there. See that branch? See that branch there? See that branch? See, so if you go there, that's it, that's all, you know, so that's all. So you gotta be careful. If you come, stay on the main road. See that branch? That branch is almost, it fell, it broke, but it stays there. So there's a security, you gotta have a security consciousness. Of course, we wanna have fun and liberty, but we gotta be mindful that here we're in the wilderness, you know? In the wilderness. You're no longer, you know, you're in the wilderness. So that's where you are, babe. You're in the wild here. The wild. You're in the wilderness. Oh yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, you know. We're gonna go on that XYZ, and we're gonna get it on the go, you know, for the LOVs, twist those ships. And now that we're on the topic of the French, just make an effort here. Make an effort, and I think we're gonna switch it a little bit to that French, but I'm just gonna do some push-ups and gonna get some of that hydration. It's time for me to get hydrated. Super important to get hydration, you know, something which is a must, you know, hydrated. So I'm gonna get that hydration for the nation. Hey, great, true north, strong and free. You know that I gotta see. You know that I love it when I sing it, when I kiss it. Gotta get that French for that we on La Belle Province. Hey, you know that I rock and roll. You know that I rock and roll. Spook. Okie dokie in the forest, on the mountain, let me see those kisses lying, lying, lying like a lion. Those beyond those red and white and blue. Gotta kiss those stars, you know you. 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 And we gotta kiss it on the stars, you know you. Blue, 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 blue. We gotta kiss it on the do, on the do and on the do, on the go and on the show, on the show and on the road. We gotta get it on the another source score for the black and for the white and the rainbow. We gotta sing it up and down. Let's hydrate, yo. Hydrate. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's go. Grateful, thankful. Yeah. Rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food, got coffee. I gotta salute those who came jogging. Saw some people jogging, and hey, good for you, you know. And I was getting a bit on the dark side. It's getting a bit, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of hours. I'm just gonna do the video, and then we're gonna head back to headquarters because I want to clock in between a 5-hour minimum and 7-hour maximum. Between 5-hour minimum and 7-hour maximum. Between a 5-hour minimum and 7-hour maximum. So when I started the video, I was already 1 hour and a half in. So if I clock in the video 93 minutes plus 93, that's double. Double 93, that's more than 3 hours. And to get back from here to my headquarters, another 2 hours. Gonna get that 5 hours plus, you know. Maybe I snake around and go buy with $3 my anonymous friend Xmas holiday gift. So, because I gotta get on that budget, you know. But that's what we is, and that's what we do, you know. So we always gotta get it for the do, for the you, and we gotta get it for the now, you know. Sometimes we gotta be on the meditative side. That's what it is, you know. So that's what it is now, and we gotta love, you know. We got a LOV, and you can LOV with us here. Somebody hug like you never hugged before. Somebody hug like you never hugged before. Somebody hug like you never hugged before. And that's what you need to do. We need to get the North American, let's go on the hawk. H-A-W-K, hawk, H-A-W-K, hawk. Hawk, H-A-W-K, hawk. And I showed a fellow tourist from France there a time capsule. The time capsule there in the corner, and it's to be opened in 2142. And of course, I believe in reincarnation. Sometimes I was born a man or woman, and was born in the USA 3 times post 1776. Once as a woman, twice as a man. Both times as a man, served in the same U.S. Army, 156 years apart. 156 years apart. 156 years apart. In same army, 2 different wars. And here we are, North Americans unite for defense, defense, defense only. Create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit. Rebuild the infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Work, 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 and build, build, build. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border. The North American People's Imperial Coliseum on the Canadian-US border. North American Imperial People's Coliseum on the Canadian-US border, parallel with the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess, Forgotten Goddess Temple. Forgotten Goddess Temple, I credit trillions of kisses to the construction workers, and LOV, construction workers of North America, you know. Public workers with it, let's go, SQATS. Give me some of those squats, and we got to get it on those for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and grocery store clerks, all involved in the production, distribution of food. French, because we love la province. French in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bienvenue. On est sur la montagne québécoise et je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique. Aujourd'hui, comme l'hiver, mais c'est pas l'hiver officiellement. C'est bien sûr encore l'automne, mais ça ressemble à l'hiver parce qu'on est le 18 décembre. Et c'est blanc, blanc, blanc. On va-tu avoir un Noël blanc? Je pense que oui. Je pense qu'il va neiger bien le 24 puis le 25. Comme aujourd'hui, exactement pareil comme aujourd'hui, ça va être beau, même si ce matin il y avait de la pluie. Après ça a retourné un peu en verglas, puis là des bons flocons. Avec la gratitude de votre aspi artiste, athlète, philosophe, le dragon en arc-en-ciel commence. Gratitude, mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, puis j'ai du café puis du thé, bien sûr. Fait que du café, merci pour le don du café instantané. Je n'utilise pas beaucoup, mais ça a été fait en 2000. Je pense que la date d'expiration est passée déjà de 3 ans. C'était écrit 2021. Mais il y a encore le saut. Il y a encore le saut. Il y a encore le saut. Donc je pense que c'est encore bon parce qu'en théorie, tu sais, peut-être pas, mais je vais sentir, je vais boire, je vais goûter, mais à moins que ça soit la date de production, parce que c'est pas bien marqué, c'est pas clair exactement. Donc, en tout cas, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique avec le rock'n'roll, puis je fais appel à tous et toutes de soutenir le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, qui est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé à des accroupissements, pour un partenariat public-privé à travers le collectif nord-américain, à travers l'Amérique du Nord, puis votre philosophe artiste dit nord-américain, mais il faut qu'on s'unisse, puis je dois saluer encore une fois les pompiers, amour aux pompiers, les boulangers dans les boulangeries, ceux qui ont changé les couches dans les garderies, les caméras, les infirmières, les travailleurs publics, les travailleurs publics et les travailleurs du Québec, grâce à qui on a des centrales pour que j'aille de la lumière moi-même dans mon téléphone intelligent. Et c'est bien sûr quelque chose que je félicite les gens qui sont venus faire de l'entraînement physique. Faire de l'entraînement physique ici, sur une journée comme ça, il y a vraiment très peu de monde qui sont venus, bien sûr. Et il y a des choses comme ça, bien sûr, qu'ils font ici, bien sûr, pour faire, bien sûr. C'est quelque chose, bien sûr, que moi aussi j'aime bien faire, c'est mon intérêt obsessif, mais en tant qu'Asperger's, quelqu'un, citoyen, individu qui vit avec l'Asperger, soit la condition de neurodivergence appelée l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, je décris pas ça comme un intérêt obsessif, je décris ça plutôt comme un intérêt des intérêts spéciaux, parce que du point de vue qu'on est neurodivergent, quand on dit obsession, ça a plutôt une connotation négative, ça a plutôt une connotation négative. Donc, dans le fond, nos intérêts obsessifs, c'est que dans ces intérêts, puis moi-même, c'est ma trinité d'intérêts spéciaux. La géopolitique, c'est mon royaume et mon domaine, puis j'en fais au quotidien l'analyse, la théorie en géopolitique, même au point de vue que j'ai prévu la situation actuelle qui se déroule en ce moment en 2019, parallèlement avec l'entraînement physique, le sport. La danse est mon sport préféré, la danse est mon entraînement que je préfère le plus, c'est la danse, et bien sûr le rock'n'roll, bien sûr, cette trinité d'entraînement physique avec le rock'n'roll, puis bien sûr la danse en étant mon sport que je préfère le plus, le sport préféré c'est la danse, l'entraînement physique c'est la danse, et bien sûr parallèlement la géopolitique. Cette trinité, que ça se passe, quand je travaille dedans, quand je m'entraîne, je suis intense, quand je danse, je suis intense, puis concentré, quand j'étudie, puis je fais des analyses en géopolitique, je suis intense, puis concentré, puis parallèlement, quand je fais du rock'n'roll. Le rock'n'roll de la belle province, merci pour le manteau bleu, à mon ami anonyme qui n'était pas mon ami, parce que j'avais de l'argent, parce que mes poches y étaient sans sous, sans scène. Avec la gratitude, plein de neige, sa montagne, ça danse comme québécoise dans la neige, n'est-ce pas, en décembre. Ah ouais, le rock'n'roll, j'en crée au quotidien des chansons rock'n'roll, puis quand même poétique, un peu de la comédie, mon rock'n'roll, mais ça me dérange pas que les gens ils trouvent ça comique, parce que je préfère que... Moi-même, étant joyeux, là, je suis quelqu'un de content maintenant ces dernières années, mais même si j'ai souffert beaucoup, puis je vis avec mes cicatrices, puis je vis avec mon trompe, mais puis ayant survécu la COVID, puis ayant sorti de la dépression, mais en étant maintenant ici, je suis quand même joyeux, juste stressé financièrement, mais je dois quand même dire ma gratitude, parce que j'ai payé mon loyer, puis c'est bien mieux où j'habite maintenant où j'habitais avant, puis je m'en souviens juste avoir déménagé d'une place, il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, puis il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, j'ai déménagé, j'ai commencé mon entraînement physique après que j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte en 2017, en août puis en septembre. En août puis en septembre, j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. Cet événement, ça m'a complètement changé ma vie, parce qu'avant ça, j'étais en dépression puis suicidaire, puis j'encourage les gens au tourisme, puis cet événement, en 2017, ça fait plus que 7 ans, ça m'a fait établir un esprit de corps solide avec le Québec, les Canadiens, puis avec les Nord-Américains, vous êtes ma famille, tu sais, Québécois et Québécoises, des fois on est dysfonctionnels, puis moi-même avec ma neurodivergence, des fois je suis moins habile, j'ai moins de... je suis moins capable dans les situations sociales, dans les communications non verbales, dans ces choses-là, mais c'est quand même des choses qu'on a de la misère, mais moi-même avec les autres choses, mais j'ai pas tant de misère que ça. Fait que je suis autiste hautement fonctionnel, ASPI, mais ben, ça fait bien des années qu'on m'a diagnostiqué, mais ça fait juste 45 mois durant la COVID que j'ai accepté, puis j'ai dit, ah ouais, mais c'est ça, je dois vivre avec ça, puis je dois faire la gestion de mes symptômes d'autisme hautement fonctionnel, aussi connu comme l'Asperger's, fait que c'est ça qui est ça, puis je vis avec, donc je vis avec ça, comme bien des gens qui vivent avec certaines choses. Moi-même, mon seul stress en ce moment est financier, parce que à part ça, j'adore venir ici au Mont-Royal, ma deuxième maison, puis bien sûr, je dois penser à d'autres mondes aussi, parce que je suis un individu faisant partie d'un collectif. Puis la civilisation est un privilège, tu sais. Sans les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec du 20e siècle, je n'aurais pas pu charger mon téléphone, puis avoir une lumière ici pour faire l'entraînement physique, puis porter mon dialogue philosophique, puis mon appel à tous et toutes de soutenir le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, artiste, athlète, philosophe, pour la création du collectif nord-américain, pour un partenariat public-privé pour le 21e siècle, pour la sécurité, la défense, le service, puis l'entraînement physique, le financement, l'incorporation de mon entraînement physique que j'ai créé moi-même en 2019, en octobre, puis bien sûr maintenant, qu'est-ce que je dois discuter de la géopolitique, c'est encore une fois la question d'imposition des tarifs sur tous les biens en ce moment, qui vont être importés aux États-Unis de 25%. 25%, c'est un quart. 25%, c'est un quart. Fait qu'il faut qu'on fasse tout le possible pour que ça ne se passe pas, pour ne pas avoir cette situation. Mais que Donald Trump, il va être président le 20 janvier. Fait que ça s'en vient, je pense, 33 jours d'ici. D'aujourd'hui, on est le 18 décembre 2024. Donc, ça s'en vient. Ça s'en vient. Fait que c'est quelque chose qu'on doit éviter. Puis, c'est quelque chose qui va toucher bien des Québécois et Québécoises, puis des Canadiens. Puis, c'est quelque chose qu'on doit absolument éviter, le nationalisme entre le Québec, le Canada et les États-Unis, parce qu'on constitue un collectif de civilisation de l'Amérique du Nord. Et bien sûr, on a fait le grand compromis de linguistique du français, on continue à le faire, puis je dis toujours, mais ça prend un effort individuel aussi, parce que si on ne fait pas d'effort individuel, mais on ne fait pas l'effort individuel, mais c'est après ça, on doit le faire parallèlement, encourager les gens à l'amour du français, à la culture, au rock'n'roll du français, puis bien sûr pour en faire aussi un effort personnel, parce que si on ne le fait pas nous-mêmes, c'est une manière aussi de le faire. Puis je sais qu'avec l'autisme hautement fonctionnel sur l'Asperger's, moi-même dans ces circonstances, je dois toujours porter attention, puis je suis pas assez habile à 100% dans ces choses-là, puis les interactions sociales, mais je suis bien capable dans le géopolitique au point de vue que c'est mon royaume, mon domaine, puis j'ai prévu la situation actuelle en 2019, en octobre et en novembre. Puis bien sûr, je peux en discuter de sujets, des régions, de l'idéologie de la Chine, l'idéologie de l'Europe, du Moyen-Orient, mais ça reste, et bien d'autres pays, des régions de la guerre froide, du 20e siècle, de la guerre froide, mais ça reste que je suis québécois, canadien, nord-américain, puis mes initiatives, protocoles, bien, sont pour le collectif nord-américain. Fait que dans le fond, ça sert à rien vraiment grand-chose que je prenne une position sur certains conflits, car mes intérêts sont pour le collectif nord-américain, le Québec, l'île de Montréal, le Québec, le Canada, premièrement, puis les États-Unis, parce que bien sûr, moi-même en tant que mystique, j'ai été né ici au Québec, en tant des fois homme, des fois femme, puis dans d'autres vies, homme-femme aux États-Unis après 1776. Une fois, j'étais né femme, 2 fois homme, puis j'ai servi dans l'armée des États-Unis 2 fois. Dans 2 guerres différentes, 156 ans à part. Et maintenant, mais vous avez le dragon arc-en-ciel androgène, monsieur, madame, 50-50, puis c'est des choses que je vis avec moi-même ici. Et donc, pour ne pas avoir des tarifs, il va falloir vraiment trouver une solution. La solution, je pense que la transformation du collectif nord-américain pour la sécurité et la défense dans le 21e siècle, c'est quelque chose qu'il faut y penser, pour l'intégration des protocoles de 9.1 durant qu'est-ce qui va s'en venir. 25% de tarifs, c'est un quart. Fait que c'est un quart, c'est 25 cents sur chaque dollar. Fait que c'est ça qu'il faut faire. Il faut faire l'implémentation de la TRD. TRD. Je vais la discuter maintenant avant que je vais faire la coupe de pompe. Puis je vais discuter la théorie de la refusion de la dette. La théorie de la refusion de la dette. La théorie. Anyways, on va faire des pompes ici. On fait des pompes, on aime les pompes, on se pousse sur les pompes. On pousse sur les pompes, on pousse sur les pompes. On s'en va dans haut. J'ai un nouveau jacket bleu, manteau bleu. Merci, je l'adore. Merci à mon ami anonyme. C'est vraiment un beau choix, là. Un beau bleu, mais c'est quelque chose que j'aime ça. Donc, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, parce que il faut que je la discute, car c'est un paradoxe encore une fois, mais vu que j'ai des intérêts obsessifs qu'on appelle que nous, dans le fond, c'est des intérêts spéciaux, qu'on est concentré, puis on dédie notre quotidien à ces intérêts. C'est ça qu'il faut comprendre des Asperger comme moi-même, qui ont l'autisme hautement fonctionnel, c'est qu'on a des intérêts obsessifs, mais moi, je n'appelle pas ça comme intérêt obsessif parce que c'est un point de distinction de neurodivergence. Donc, c'est juste des intérêts qu'on se concentre, puis on est intense dedans. Et vu que la géopolitique, c'est mon sujet, mon royaume et mon domaine, quand on étudie la géopolitique, on doit savoir un peu des finances publiques. Et en ce moment, on paye au Canada des finances publiques 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards. 1 milliard, c'est en 9 zéros. C'est 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. 46,5 milliards d'intérêts, c'est 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. Donc, c'est 9 zéros, ça. C'est en 9 zéros 1 milliard. 1 milliard, c'est 1000 millions. Fait qu'on paye cette année fiscale 46 000 millions. En 2020 et 2021, le montant était de 20,3 milliards. Fait qu'en 3 ans, seulement 3 ans, le chiffre d'intérêt qu'on paye sur la dette, ça a plus que doublé de 20,3. C'est allé à 46,5. Donc 20,3 fois 2, ça aurait été 40,6. Ça aurait été le double. Ça aurait été 20,3 fois 2, ça aurait été 40,6. C'est 46,5. C'est sûr qu'à cause de la COVID, parce que de la COVID, on a dû faire l'implémentation des protocoles spéciaux pour la survie, pour avoir la continuité de la civilisation, l'Amérique du Nord. Puis moi-même, mais je l'ai eu la COVID. La COVID, quand je l'ai eu, je pensais que j'allais mourir en février 2020. Février-mars 2020, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. Et bien sûr, je pensais que c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. J'ai survécu. Je suis ici sur la montagne le 18 décembre 2024, jovial, mais financièrement stressé. Mais sur la table, là, je mets la théorie de la refusion de la dette, la TRD, qui est la seule et unique solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution en ce moment que la théorie refusion TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, c'est la TRD, théorie de la refusion, qu'il faut faire l'implémentation. Et donc, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, il faut faire l'implémentation là-dessus. Donc, c'est la seule et unique solution qu'il faut faire l'implémentation. Parce qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution. On paye 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards, c'est un chiffre énorme, là. C'est 46,5 milliards, c'est un chiffre énorme. C'est rendu de 20,3 fois 2, 20,3 fois 2, c'était 40,6, le double. C'est plus que le double qu'on paye, juste l'intérêt. Le paiement des intérêts seulement sur la dette publique. C'est ça qu'il faut retenir, c'est ça qui est urgent, c'est ça qui est potentiellement une catastrophe. C'est possible que dès le premier jour de janvier, quand l'année fiscale change, le 3 janvier, même la première semaine de février, qu'il y ait qu'est-ce qu'on appelle en anglais un Black Swan Event, et Black Swan Event, et bien sûr, de ce Black Swan Event, ça c'est la terminologie en anglais qu'on appelle dans les finances, c'est possible qu'il y ait une catastrophe, un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes, un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes, un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes. C'est possible. Qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes. Mais c'est ça. C'est possible, c'est fortement probable qu'il y ait un effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes. C'est possible qu'il y ait cet effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes. C'est fortement probable qu'il y ait cet effondrement des finances publiques canadiennes. C'est fortement probable, c'est possible. C'est pour ça que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, mais il faut faire l'implémentation. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, je vous l'explique maintenant en ce moment. Donc la T, c'est théorie R, refusion de la dette. Ma TRD, ça contient en dedans d'elle la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Encore une fois, il n'y a pas d'autre option. C'est urgent, ça commence avec moi-même ici, mais il faut faire l'implémentation. C'est un paradoxe, mais sur la table, je mets la solution, puis c'est la seule et unique solution. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la théorie de la refusion de la dette. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, il faut faire l'implémentation. T pour théorie, R pour refusion de la dette. La théorie de la refusion de la dette. C'est la seule et unique solution. On paye 46,5 milliards d'intérêts. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. C'est ça qu'il faut comprendre. Bon, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça contient la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Dans ma théorie, se trouve aussi intégré dans ma théorie, dedans ma théorie, il y a l'intégration de la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Qu'est-ce que c'est la théorie d'intégration monétaire? C'est la théorie que les Européens ont fait l'implémentation dans les années 90. Ils ont fait l'implémentation de la théorie d'intégration monétaire. En Europe, les Allemands ils ont laissé faire leur banque centrale, les Allemands ils ont laissé faire leur banque centrale, ils ont détruit leur banque centrale nationale. Les Allemands ils ont détruit leur banque centrale nationale, les Allemands ils ont détruit leur banque centrale nationale, les Allemands, les Italiens, plusieurs pays ont détruit en Europe leur banque centrale nationale des années 90, ça fait plus que 25 ans, puis ils ont fait la création d'une banque centrale commune européenne qu'on appelle supranationale, en terminologie financière, plus jurisprudence, plus philosophique, c'est la supranationale. Donc plusieurs pays se sont mis ensemble, puis ont fait de la création de la Banque centrale de l'Europe. Donc nous ici, dans ma TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, la théorie d'intégration monétaire est intégrée dedans. Fait qu'on va faire tout ensemble pour le faire. On va faire la théorie d'intégration monétaire. La théorie d'intégration monétaire se trouve dans ma TRD. Fait qu'on va, c'est comme si on fait les deux. C'est 2 pour 1 dans le fond, dans la théorie. Dans ma théorie, TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette, théorie de la refusion de la dette, et bien sûr, théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, on va prendre toute la dette publique, privée ensemble, incluant mon 10 000 à la Banque Royale, mon 10 000 à la Banque Royale, mon 10 000 dollars de la dette à la Banque Royale canadienne. Donc moi, j'ai 10 000 dollars. 10 000 dollars à la Banque Royale canadienne. J'ai 10 000 dollars à la Banque Royale canadienne. J'ai 10 000 dollars à la Banque Royale canadienne. Ça, c'est ma dette de 10 000 dollars. Donc, j'ai 10 000, 10 000, 1 0 0 0 0, 10 000 dollars, 10 000 dollars à la Banque Royale de dette. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique-privée de côte à côte, du Canada. Toute la dette publique canadienne, publique-privée canadienne, toute la dette publique-privée canadienne, on va faire la conversion dans la devise des États-Unis. Parce que le dollar des États-Unis est encore la devise de choix pour le commerce global, l'import, l'export et le tourisme. Donc, on va convertir toute la dette publique-privée canadienne de côte à côte dans la devise des États-Unis. Tout cet argent-là, on va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie, puis c'est premièrement au Canada. Après ça, ben, c'est Canada premièrement, il faut le faire le plus tôt possible, c'est urgent. Le Canada premièrement, après ça, États-Unis, après ça, l'Amérique du Nord. Ça peut s'étendre, bien sûr, parce que le Mexique, ils font partie de l'Amérique du Nord, le Mexique. L'Haïti, Cuba aussi, Mais Cuba, c'est un paradoxe, parce que Cuba, ils ont gardé leur parti socialiste communiste, un système de un parti régnant, politique, un parti politique qui règne, révolutionnaire, socialiste communiste. Donc Cuba, c'est un paradoxe. Mais l'Haïti, la Jamaïque, ils font partie des pays de l'Amérique du Nord. Mais premièrement au Canada, après ça, à travers l'Amérique du Nord, le collectif, ce que j'appelle en tant que philosophe, le grand collectif nord-américain. Eh bien sûr, c'est ça qu'on va faire. Toute la dette publique-privée, ça va convertir dans la devise des États-Unis. Ça va être la fondation de l'argent en circulation. Initialement, tout l'argent en circulation, on va créer une nouvelle banque centrale et tout l'argent en circulation, ça va être la dette publique privée convertie dans la devise des États-Unis. On va faire la création d'une nouvelle monnaie, comme qu'ils ont fait en Europe, mais qu'on va prendre toute la dette publique privée ensemble. Puis ça va fonder avec l'autre argent qui existe en circulation, la création d'une nouvelle monnaie basée sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis. On va faire la création de l'unité d'échange universelle. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. UI. U point unité, E point échange, U point universel. L'unité d'échange universelle. L'unité d'échange universelle. L'unité d'échange universelle. Le UI. On ne s'obstinera pas avec les Anglais parce que ça va être pareil en anglais. UI. C'est en anglais, puis en français c'est UI. Comme en anglais, français c'est dollar. On peut l'appeler le nouveau dollar, mais c'est le UI parce que c'est ça l'argent. C'est une unité d'échange universelle. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. 10% maximum, ça peut être en bas de 10, 9.3, 6.1, 7.18, 4.18, 1.53, 1.56, 3.33, en bas de 10 par principe, en bas de 10 par principe, en bas de 10 par principe. Donc c'est ça qu'on doit faire. On doit faire la création de cette nouvelle monnaie, l'unité d'échange universelle, et bien sûr, c'est ça qu'on doit faire. La création de cette nouvelle monnaie, l'unité d'échange universelle. L'unité d'échange universelle, avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure de l'Amérique du Nord, rebâtir l'infrastructure parce qu'on a besoin de l'infrastructure. On va pouvoir bâtir d'autres centrales de l'Hydro-Québec. On va pouvoir bâtir d'autres centrales de l'Hydro-Québec. Bien plus, on va pouvoir bâtir les 44 tunnels, construire les 44 tunnels, construire les 44 tunnels dans le cas d'une guerre thermonucléaire. On va pouvoir bien sûr financer les gens à l'entraînement physique, parce que ça fait du bien. On va pouvoir financer les gens à l'entraînement physique. On va pouvoir bien sûr financer les gens à l'entraînement physique, puis au tourisme. Puis on va pouvoir faire l'implémentation des nouveaux protocoles pour la défense de 911 pour la sécurité, la service puis la défense et constituer les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, du 21e siècle. L'armée du dragon, soit la sécurité et de défense de l'Amérique du Nord intégrée, les forces de défense et de sécurité de l'Amérique du Nord, du collectif nord-américain intégré, puis l'armée de la déesse qui danse, soit la Ligue de danse nord-américaine intégrée, la Ligue de danse nord-américaine intégrée, la Ligue de danse de l'Amérique du Nord. Pour le plaisir, pour l'environnement, planter plus des arbres, faire l'environnement, mais le renouveau de l'environnement de l'Amérique du Nord, puis l'armée du dragon. C'est ça qu'on a du travail à faire en Amérique du Nord, puis moi moi comme je dis, mais prêtez allégeance les gens, vous êtes famille, prêtez allégeance les gens, vous êtes famille, prêtez allégeance les gens, vous êtes famille, mais puis en étant androgène, pansexuel, moi je cherche des amis avec bénéfice seulement, des amis avec bénéfice. C'est ça, that's it, that's all, rock and roll. Puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Je viens souvent ici à ma deuxième maison, la montagne. Faites attention parce que si vous déviez de la route, le chemin principal, puis vous allez dedans dans la montagne profondément, comme j'y vais souvent, les branches ne sont pas solides, fait que si des fois ils tombent, fait que pour votre sécurité, je vous fais un petit avis citoyen en tant que citoyen, artiste, athlète, philosophe. Puis, qui adore l'entraînement physique, la danse c'est mon sport préféré, puis je dois faire l'hydratation, donc il faut qu'on évite le plus possible d'avoir des tarifs de 25%, puis comme j'appelle ma tante parce que je vous considère famille, c'est mon oncle Legault, j'appelle mon oncle Legault, puis mon oncle, mon citoyen, puis comme une famille de l'Amérique du Nord, là, du Québec, du Canada. Tu sais, ben, je vous considère ma famille, des fois on est dysfonctionnel, mais je vous défendrai, tu sais, je vous défendrai de côte à côte, puis je suis pas parfait, j'ai quand même, ça fait des années, plus que 5 ans que je veux avoir moi-même un massage thérapeutique, mais vous savez quoi, millionnaire, millionnaire, financer les travailleurs publics, ceux qui ramassent les poubelles, bien sûr, les infirmières, les pompiers, ceux qui ont ramassé, merci, puis le service de sanitation, ceux qui ont ramassé les poubelles lundi pour la sanitation publique, puis ceux qui ont ramassé, qui vont ramasser le recyclage et le compostage, financer les massages thérapeutiques à la place. Moi, je vais pouvoir, bien sûr, prendre un bain, puis je vais me contenter d'avoir suffisamment avec ça. Puis c'est ça qu'il faut faire ici. En vous encourageant à l'entraînement physique, mais c'est quelque chose que je dois faire moi-même, puis c'est toujours que j'encourage les gens à faire aussi. Puis je vais partir avec ça, je vous laisse avec la gratitude et je finalise parce que je m'en retourne chez nous, je commence à avoir faim un peu. D'ici de la montagne, hein, j'ai quand même des kilomètres, peut-être 15, peut-être même 20, ça dépend comment j'y vais, peut-être quasiment 2 heures de route encore de chez nous, puis je vais pas filmer parce qu'il y a bien de la neige, fait que je vais pas endommager mon outil de travail, hein, qui est bien sûr mon outil de travail, ce téléphone. Et voilà. Et on finit avec du rock and roll bilingue. On finit parce que c'est mon autre intérêt qui fait partie de ma trinité d'intérêts spéciaux que je suis super concentré, intense, puis ça préoccupe mes journées au complet pendant bien des années, mais avec ma routine de géopolitique, rock and roll, danse, entraînement physique. C'est le rock and roll en anglais. Let's go. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Let's go, you know we gotta go. For the rainbow, for the truckers, for the butchers, gotta swing it with those hips and kiss it, yeah. I gotta sing it, hey, we French, we in la province. Gotta do me some push-ups. Push-up is that pump, let's go. We love push-ups, we love booty. Got that rainbow dragon with it. Got the kiss and got the snake. Got the kiss and got the hate. I ain't got no hate, but I play that defense, may I be avenged. 7-fold times 7, do the math and do the boy. Do the math and do the boy. I ain't gotta screaming in the void. Gotta rock and roll, you know, Paloy. Gotta twist up middle hips. I ain't got no guitar, but I gotta hiss. With a hawk, you know we spark. We go rainbow, got the truckers and the train conductors. Gotta go builder for the builders, for the butchers and the bakers. Gotta sing it. Gotta sing it, gotta swing it, gotta sing it, gotta believe it. Gotta rock and roll, you know we hit it. Gotta rock and roll, you know we live it. Gotta get for me some right, some left up in the sight. Some left and go to left and right and out of sight. We gonna love it for the love, and we go trip up in the dove. We gonna swing up in the hips, we gonna swing up in the miss. We gonna swing up in the lips. We gonna go up in the sips. We gonna go up in the liquor. We gonna go up in the freezer. Hey, rainbow rock and roll, dismissed. Woo, woo, woo. La chanson du rock and roll, ça bouge les fesses, les orteils, la belle province. Que ça casse, les orteils ensemble, les casseroles. Ça bouge les camionneurs de la gauche, de la sud, de la nord, dans le centre, ça danse. Les mains dans les airs, wow. Mains dans les airs, wow. Les mains sans misère, wow. Les arbres s'avancent, la neige décembre, la descente dans la pente, ça donne comme du ski, ça danse en transe. Ça danse ensemble, ça danse dans transe, ça danse ensemble, ça dit que ça ressemble, ça fasse bien ensemble, bicyclette, la fromage, ça boit de la bière, ça s'appelle la maudite, mais j'appelle la bénite. Woo! That's that rainbow rock and roll. You don't know you're on score. You don't know you're looking for more. More the kisses, yeah. I love me a queen of spades, what? I love me a queen of spades, what? I love me one night was queen of spades. She said, whoa, that's not bad. Well, I said, what? That's not going crazy with a rainbow. That's, you know, I sing it for let's go. That's, you know, I sing it for the go. That's, you know, I sing it as I go. Marry me a whore, marry me a whore, marry me a whore. You know, I rock and roll for the rainbow, for the black and white, for the butchers, construction workers on steel toes. They're going up in your nose, they're going up in the dough, they're going up in your C, up in your C, up in your B, up in your C, up in your C. Another carry on, up in a carry on, you see the bees, bees with the trees, you know, they play up in the squeeze, you know, in the squeeze with the bees, there's honey, but I missed another kiss on the freezer. Woo. Gotta swing it for that French, gotta swing it for that parlay, gotta sell India, you know, we swing it up today. And I gotta be me some push-ups with some squats. Et voilà, on chante comme le rouge, 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 le dragon baby ring. Avec la danse, ça remonte ensemble, puis ça fasse encore du patrimoine noble, le rock'n'roll dans le 21e siècle, le satellite, le téléphone intelligent, ça bouge, ça bouge. Les fesses, c'est comme des rouillés, y a pas de rouillés, ça ramasse. Travailleurs du Québec, on est avec de partir d'autres centrales. Mais ça va être de lumière, de Noël, de Grand Noël, ça va être le Père Noël, ça va être l'attente. Puis de l'attente qui dort, ça bouge. Il y en a qui s'en vont à la Havane, c'est en décembre. Puis il faut tous ensemble, des fois en retard, je vais plus ça danse, c'est plein, ça remonte, les éperviers baissent à lance, hey, got a rainbow rock and roll, you know, up in the go, finna swing up in those hips, lick a kiss and this, for the clits and for the dicks, you know, we swing it up and miss, optimistic gotta spit it, optimistic gotta spit it. Spit it with your rainbow dragon with it. That's the freestyle that you see on the lights. You know you be for the rock and roll. You know you trip. That's that bloody get the boy. You gotta go that gridiron hut. Gonna go that fumble yet. Fumble, play that defense coast to coast. Ocean to ocean, you don't coast. Gotta get it for another, for the firefighters. For the butchers and the bakers, gotta sing it for the truckers. Hey, railroad conductors, where the welders with some steel, welders with some soft. It ain't all about that fight, gotta get some love inside. It ain't all about the fight, gotta get some love inside. It ain't all about the fight, gotta get some love inside. It ain't all about the fight, gotta get some love inside. And get a fumble, that's alright. I got plenty of scars, that's alright. I got plenty of scars, gotta survive that COVID site. I got plenty of scars. Gotta kiss it for the do, gotta kiss it for the you. For the truckers, SU, gotta get it for the do. And another helicopter chopper, another gun got the truckers. Gotta swing it for train conductors. Gotta give it for the work, gotta give it for the labor. Gotta give it for you, see you neighbors. Gotta give it for another way, whoa. Gotta go for French. Hey, you know, we in la belle province. Et regarde, ça monte, les éperviers, ben, ça danse, les étoiles entrent ensemble, ça tape les guitares, puis ça bouge. Encore, ça avance pour la création de l'estime verbale, progrès ben, social, ça fasse. Encore, ça l'épervier, ben, ça danse, ben, ça monte, puis encore, ça planche. Ça neige, ça avance, ben, regarde, ben, ça mouille, puis ça fasse comme une danse. Ben, tribal, ben, avance, ben, tribal, ben, regarde. Encore, mais la face, la mouche, ce n'est en décembre. Il y a du sirop d'érable, ça coule, ça goûte, le rock'n'roll du dragon, mais arc-en-ciel. C'est le sirop d'érable, ça bouge. C'est le sirop d'érable, ça bouge. C'est le sirop. C'est le sirop. Oh yeah, rock'n'roll. I love rock'n'roll. J'adore le rock'n'roll. I just sing rock'n'roll every day. I just sing rock and roll every day. Chante du rock and roll chaque jour. Wanna give me some more? Gotta give me another score. Gotta give me like a hawk. That's my totem bird. You see, that's the set. You know the animal that embark on me. Make an illness for the seaman. Make an illness in the seaman. Make an illness for destruction. Gotta get that eyes in the head. Gotta get that testicles the set. Gotta get those eyes in the head. Gotta get those testicles the set. Gotta get those eyes in the head. What I said. That the two heads left and right. Got the two hands left and right. Hey, I know I play. Hey, another pledge of allegiance. Got the demons with archangels. Got the kisses for the freezer. Shake that booty, that twerky. Twerky with a working. Love to get a helicopter chopper for the cheese conductors for the trains up in the left. Right, they're going out the side. They're going out the driving. That's the freighter. That's no freighter. That's another freighter for the 93. Bury me with Papa Crowley. That's what I said in New Jersey. Bury me with Papa Crowley up in New Jersey. Gotta get it some for the sea. Gotta get it for you see, gotta get it for you new, gotta get it for the new, for the see and me, gotta get it for the do, for the you and you, and for another. You gotta see, for the eye you see the sunset, for the eye you see the sunlight. Gotta give it for the squats, you know you led. Et encore ça fasse le coucher du soleil, puis sur ça, c'est la montagne, et ça écrit, puis ça avance, puis ça s'enchaîne, puis le stylo, puis ça écrit en plein parole, puis la mode libre, le latin, puis ça au savoir, puis les arbustes. Yeah, gotta get it for the do, gotta get it for the now, gotta get it for another frown up in the down, frown up in the crown, and another front lanes, changing on the highways. Public workers got to chop with the lanes with the bricks. You know the charity ain't about Wall Street. Hey, let's go for another win, let's go for another winter dance, let's go for another show up in the Noah. For another throw, I'm gonna crow and the crows up in the kisses up the door. Hey, you know, et les corbeaux, ça avance, baissons, ça nage, les corbeaux, mais ça danse. Corbeaux, ça flatte, flappe des mains dans la neige. Corbeau, ça flatte, frappe les mains dans la neige. Corbeau, ça frappe des ailes dans la neige. Corbeau, le dragon, mais ça chante, let's go. Hey, ça danse, ça avance, ça plaine. La planche de la rivière, mais ça gèle le lac, ça déboule, ça déboussole le sirop qui coule, ça s'appelle des arbres, c'est des arbres, des fleurs, ça avance partir à la vanne. Ça retourne bronzé, ben bronzé, amène. La liqueur, ben comme faut, la cigare, ben comme faut, la cigare, ben comme faut, la cigare, ben comme faut. Un défaut par défaut, un soleil, ben let's go. Woo, let's go for the singing, for the December, gotta get that eggnog. Eggnog got it thirsty on that, clean on that pussy, that dick for that homo, singing rock and roll, you know, let's go. For my homos, I gotta sing rock and roll, you know, dragon, let's go. For my homos, you know, I gotta sing rock and roll, let's go. On the mountain, you know, the shore, on the mountain, you know, they go. On the mountain, we on the top, on the mountain, Mount Royal, let's go. For the 93 count, I tell him I baby, Papa Crowley, up in that New Jersey, turning me here, Mount Royal, turning me. Up in the city of the pyramids, you know, that's course the sea. For the hawk, you know you be. For the hawk, you know you see. And another tempo, got a lempo, gotta let go. And another push-ups that we finish with a style up in the yo's. For another lock and load it. On a rock and roll it, rock and load it, lock and load it, rock and roll it, on the hold it. That's the freestyle, that's the hold it. Hold it. You know that we never told this story and for they gotta kiss you with a hug. Gotta give it for the doves and the crows up in the set, you know we fin to do another spider's web, that's the kissing on the flex, flex is on the muscle yet, flex is on the muscle bet, hey, I don't gamble, I don't bet, that's another getter, hey, French and English, la belle province, and you know we gonna flex it, love it, somebody get me some love, somebody give me that rainbow dragon, that's the hey, you know, another deter, get a rainbow, got some charity, got some love up in this aspie, gotta live up and can't go nasty, just ask please, nasty, see for a rock and roll, you know we be, rock and roll, you know we trees, for another kiss, you up in the hug, up in the bees, up in the trees, you know we, do it another no, yeah.